Hi everyone and welcome to Season 7, Episode 2 of From Hope to Glory at Truro City with me, the United City FM. Welcome along. So, if you've been with me for my relegation rescue series with Renhe Beijing, you'll know that sometimes Football Manager is really frustrating and difficult. And if you've been joining us for the Truro City save, you'll know that sometimes Football Manager is just amazingly, brilliantly awesome in every way. Well, this season is going that way again. So here we are. Without any further ado, you can see immediately the league table does not lie. Truro City sitting top of the table in League One, having failed in the playoffs last season to get up to the Championship. This season, we've really benefited from that. It's been a very good season so far. Halfway through, reached the last game in December. So we're just about to go into another January transfer window. So this is a good time to come back and update you all on our progress. And it's going great. We've got 2 games in hand. We are 5 points clear of Sheffield Wednesday in second position. And today we play Sheffield Wednesday. So if we could get another 3 points today and put ourselves 8 points clear with 2 games in hand, I think we're going to be very hard to stop this season. Doesn't mean that's not going to be a tricky game to play today, but actually it's going brilliantly well. You can see the likes of Michael Mellon, top scorer, 14 goals in 21 starts. Maybe a little bit down on what we've had in the last couple of seasons from our strikers, maybe. But actually, overall, they've still been performing very well on the whole. And he's been the star of that particular show. McJanet, another of our strikers with a very good average rating and 5 assists and 12 goals to his name. So he's doing great. Lots of people contributing. If we go and have a look at the actual team, the squad, the other one that I really want to highlight as doing exceptionally well is this guy, DiMaggio Wright Phillips, who is our right-sided winger. And he's doing fantastic. 12 goals, 7 assists in 21 matches, 7.14 average rating. Been a fantastic player for us this season. And we're looking for more from him because he's signed on for another few years yet. So he's not going anywhere in the short term, which is great. There are a couple of people that are a little bit upset. Dunlan is one that is going to be leaving us in January. But that's okay. I didn't mind because you can see specifically his attributes are now no longer as good as we need them, especially if we're moving up into the Championship. So I'm going to find some left-sided fullback cover for the rest of this season on loan probably, and then look to see what we can do in the summer to buy a good left-side fullback option for next season moving forward. So that's the only major thing that's coming up. Other than that, most people are pretty happy with what's going on, really. There's a couple of our big players that are wanted, but they're going to have to go some to get these big players out of the club because I do not want to sell them. And everything is absolutely fantastic. Now, as I say, if you've been with me with relegation rescue, you'll know that it doesn't always work out this way. And I do try and provide as much of a diverse list of content as I can, some good, some bad in terms of how we're doing in them. We've had some competitive stuff in Versus 5 recently and a look at the game rather than playing the game in my FM21 Top 3 series as well. So I try and do as much as I can to diversify. If you're enjoying the content, then do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and join my United City community. The more the merrier. That helps me grow the channel, grow the community around the channel, which is fantastic. Gives me motivation to move forward. If you want to check the links in the description for things like Twitter and Discord, there's a Patreon that will help support me if you want to go down that route. Go and read the piece on Patreon that I wrote there a while ago. It will tell you everything you need to know about why I do what I do here. There's lots of other things as well. So come and get involved in my United City community. It is an ever-growing thing that I'm continuing to hope will continue to grow this current year. And if you haven't subscribed yet, that is the key thing to do. And maybe click a little bit of a like button on this episode and help me get seen by lots more people. But for today, we've got Sheffield Wednesday in the league, second versus top. We are 5 points clear, 2 games behind them. So that's fantastic. Let's see how we get on. Of course, because we're only doing like 4 updates per season, it's right that we check in with the recent results before we go into the actual game itself. So the last time you and I were together was mid-October time, so we've had a couple more months to play since then, and as you can see, we've done very well. We lost against Rochdale 1-0, we lost to Luton in the Papa John's Trophy Southern section, but you can see that we still qualified, so we're still going strong in that particular competition, which is fine. We rotated the side completely for that game. And other than that, there's a few draws around, but mostly a lot of decent wins and quite a lot of goals scored as well, which is fantastic to see. And all of that, of course, has led us to be top of the table, as you've seen. But I think it's important to suggest that just checking through this list of names here, you can see that there are lots of people contributing to our goal count, which is fantastic. But on this second column, on the for and against, in terms of the games that we play, you can see that we have been keeping a few clean sheets. We haven't been conceding too many goals. So it's not just about the goal scorers that's important in this series. Our defence is doing very, very well also. And I think the whole squad is really, I'm very happy with the balance of it currently. How we'll cope if we move up a division, I don't know. That's always the unknown. But it looks like we've got a real opportunity to find out. So Sheffield Wednesday today, we then play Grimsby in the second round of the FA Cup, having beaten Forest Green in the first round already. If we can get to that third round and maybe get a big tie out of it, that will do great. Portsmouth from our own division in the Papa John's Trophy third round in terms of the knockout stages of the Papa John's Trophy. So that's still going strong as well. We did get knocked out quite early on in the Carabao Cup because we came up against Watford. That's the only competition we're out of. So all in all, I'm really, really happy with how it's going. And now we can properly focus on Sheffield Wednesday. So as you would fully imagine, I would suggest we haven't changed anything of the structure of play because it's working so well. 4-4-2, custom wing play, getting those balls into the box for the two strikers to really have a go at and see if we can pin the opposition at that point and try and score some goals. And it's been working brilliantly well. We have made a couple of rotation in terms of the personnel that we use a little bit here and there. Today, for example, it's McJanet and Mellon, but up until recently, it's been Aaron Hull and Mellon up top. But you can see 5 in 20 games, 5 goals in 20 games, 4 assists. His average rating is down. He's not been particularly fantastic this year, Aaron Hull. So he's just on the cusp of losing that spot. So McJanet comes in and plays that today. But we've also got this guy, Smith Ferguson, youngster. He was a youngster when he came into the club. He's now 22, but he's doing much better this season as well. 9 goals in 11 games and 5 assists as well. So we've got good backup options. So I'm happy with that. As I say, central defence and our defensive unit in general has been very good. And it has been this back 5 pretty consistently through the season. Roberts, Fink, Van Kooten, Wharton and Devine, they've been working very well. We have an issue in midfield though. Brown comes in today because Joe White, who individually looks as though he hasn't performed brilliantly, but is really key to keeping that solid midfield that we need when we're playing the wide men. He unfortunately is out for a couple of weeks. Has he got a couple of weeks left on his injury? 5 weeks, 2 to 5 weeks. So yeah, he's still got a few weeks out. He's been out for 1 or 2 already. He's quite key to the way that we play, although we do have some good options, but he comes out of the starting lineup. And you can see there's a couple of fitness issues around for some of the periphery members of the squad. But overall, we're doing well in rotating. And the starting lineup for today is mostly the usual one. And it's Roberts in goal, Fink at right back, Devine at left back, Van Kooten and Wharton in central defence, Brown and Williams in central midfield, Wright Phillips on the right, D'Souza on the left, Mellon and McJanet up top, with a bench of Rogers, Dunlan, Bucock, Knowles, Smith, Ferguson and Hull. So let's get into this game against Sheffield Wednesday and see what happens. So So I've kept it fairly simple in terms of the team talk, no gesture, but we've just said, come on lads, show me what you can do to keep the run going. Just put the onus on them to go out and play well. Much more packed stadiums these days than there were when we started this particular series with Truro City, which is fantastic to see. We've really upped the attendance, which is great. Of course, we're at home as well, so that should help us a little bit, but we've still got to perform very well, obviously, against a very good Sheffield Wednesday side. And there was an early chance for Mellon, through on goal. Goalkeeper came out and narrowed the angle down, and he parries it for a corner kick. Devine with the corner kick to the far post. It's partially cleared. D'Souza picks up the loose ball, drives into the box. Is that a penalty? It's a corner kick. Good fierce challenge in there by the Sheffield Wednesday defence. We get another corner kick on the far side, though, to the near post. It goes back out to the original taker, Devine, and then the highlight goes. But in the first 10 minutes, a couple of really good, solid attempts at goal there, which is fantastic to see. And it's Sheffield Wednesday with the loose ball, but they boot it clear, and we're able to pick up the loose ball in our defensive unit. Wright Phillips cuts in off that right-hand side, drives at the top of the penalty box, and then his shot is kind of not something we need to talk about, is it really? Bit too high and wide there. But on this occasion, we get again Mellon into the box, and he has a partial strike at goal, which is blocked. But we pick up the loose ball again. So we are dominating possession in the highlights, at least. Over the top this time for Mellon to run onto. Again, good work by the Sheffield Wednesday defence. But we are knocking on that door, continually getting through. 4 shots at goal, 1 on target so far. But we are having a lot of those key highlights in our favour. So if we can keep that up in this first half, hopefully we can maybe grab a goal just before half-time. That would really suit us really well. Time is ticking, though, and it's gone a little bit quiet. And it's now a full-back throw-in right in our defensive area. So we've got a long way to go. Devine gets it up to McJanet, drops it back to the left-sided winger there, D'Souza. And then we lose out, and it's Sheffield Wednesday that come back at us, cutting in off the right-hand side, strike at goal, and it whips across the goal, but doesn't quite manage to get it on target. And it goes wide, and we get in at half-time 0-0, but I'm really happy with how we played. I think we've dominated the game in a lot of ways. Possession stats are in our favour. Passing completion could be a little bit crisper. The XG rating of nearly up to 1, so that goal is almost there. 7 shots at goal, 2 on target, 3 and 2 for them. Shows that we're doing very well. And we've got to make it count a little bit in this second half. So dressing room, we're going to go and pump the fists and say, let's give these fans something to cheer about. We're also going to go into the tactics and just up from balanced into positive to start this second half. So we go back through the dressing room, start the second half, and then shout, demand more from them just at the start of this second half. See if we can get on the front foot early in this second half, maybe have a chance at 2 a goal, and maybe take one, which would put the pressure onto Sheffield Wednesday. But it's drifting a little bit. 64 minutes and no highlights so far in this half. Now there's a chance. Sweeping free kick into the box. Partially cleared, but there's no one there for Sheffield Wednesday, and Devine will pick it up in our defensive unit for us. And then we try and sweep a ball in, and it doesn't quite work. And there's a chance here for Sheffield Wednesday to break on us. We've managed to stall them a little bit, but they're still on the attack down this right-hand side for them. Devine comes across and blocks that cross really well, but then can only clear it into midfield where Sheffield Wednesday win the loose ball again and come back at us, this time at the top of the table, at the top of the penalty box, should I say. And that was a really, really good passing move by them, wasn't it? A nice 1-2 at the top of the penalty box, completely dumbfounded our defenders at this point. There's the pass back, and then here we go. 1-2, 1... and then 2, one-touch football. Think it was at right fullback for us that didn't quite manage to go with the runner. And they get a goal from it at 65 minutes. And that's unfortunate. I think we've been doing pretty well up till this point. So we're going to go into the tactics, and we're going to change up a couple of the personnel, see who's not having the best of games. We've got a 6.3 from Reece Brown, so we're going to take him out and put Bucock in instead. That will secure that central midfield a little bit more. Those two are a bit more sort of defensive-minded. Then we've got a couple of issues up top, haven't we, really? Both Mellon and McJanet not doing brilliantly well. I'm kind of tempted to take both of them off, if I'm honest, but we've also got Wright Phillips not playing brilliantly. Would you take both strikers off, or would you take a bit of the supply line off as well? I think that's what I'm going to do. So we're going to take Wright Phillips out. Of course, because I praised him at the beginning of the video, of course he wasn't going to perform today. And Knowles comes in instead of him. And they've got Mellon, and we've got McJanet, and we've got Smith-Ferguson and Hull on the bench. We're going to put Smith-Ferguson on, so we're going to keep Mellon on because he's the one that's been getting most of our goals this season, and see what Smith-Ferguson can do alongside him. And then because we've gone down, we're going to go into the attacking version of this particular setup as well. Get really on the front foot. And then we're going to go in and fire the team up. At 71 minutes, we've got 20 minutes left. Can we find a route through to goal? Can we get anything from this game? Or are Sheffield Wednesday just going to reel us in slightly? It looks like they might just manage it, doesn't it? I'm not going to change anything because I still think we're in a good position in the league, and I like how this particular setup has been playing through most of this game. And here is our one chance towards the end of the game. Knowles runs forward, takes it more centrally. Williams takes over out to Devine, whips the cross in, and Knowles at the back post is closed down by the goalkeeper. And unfortunately, that looks like it's going to be our one chance, and we couldn't quite take it at that really, really key moment. There was both Mellon and Knowles at that back post, and they couldn't quite find a way through. But if you look at these match statistics, we had 16 shots at goal, only 5 on target. Those front men today were not converting, were they? 5 and 3 for Sheffield Wednesday, so consistently on target, but not so many shots at goal. Disappointing. Our XG rating suggests we should have had one as well compared to theirs. And we just edged the possession stats as well. So I think we can feel a little bit hard done by because of that result. But we've still got a little bit of a cushion at the top of the table because of those 2 games in hand that we've got. So I'm not overly worried. But still, at home, unfortunate today, I would say. So here we are back in the schedule page, figuring out what's going to happen next episode. But just to update you, we are now 2 points clear rather than 5 at the top of the table. But we do have those 2 games in hand as well. So there is a little bit of leeway there. And Sheffield Wednesday, obviously in second place, were always going to be one of our more challenging games of the season. And on this occasion, they came out on top. And that's just one of those things, isn't it, really? So what are we coming back for? Well, we've got a January transfer window coming up. We've got the end of the season happening in early May. So what we're going to come back to is the last game of February, and that's against Tranmere Rovers in the league. And we'll just update you on everything that happens between now and then we'll play one more episode against Wigan at the end of the season, just to catch you up on everything and see where we end up for this particular season. I'm still really confident, though. This team have been playing brilliantly well. There was a blip today, but look at this run of form. There's a few draws in there, but other than that, mostly those green dots signify the wins, and I think we can be reasonably confident moving forward. So, come back next episode. Join me for the Tranmere game. I'll catch you up on everything else, including January transfer window stuff, if there's anything to update you with for that. But until then, thank you for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. As I said at the beginning of the episode, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Join my United City community, the more the merrier. Click that like button on this particular episode if you can. That'll help me get seen by lots more people. Go and check all those links of the description, of those things in the description below for my Patreon and my Twitter and my Discord. There's a merchandise store to have a look at as well. But until next time, take care of yourselves. I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.